One is likely to ask me, if not themselves, who is Ma'at? What does she have to do with raising our consciousness? Many who attend a spiritual center are familiar with Christ consciousness, and it being the consciousness of love. I ask quite simply, what then does one truly mean when they talk of unity consciousness? In turn, what does the meaning of the word unity engender for you? To me, unity consciousness means teamwork. It is the knowledge that all of us are one in origin. Before I go further into this, I need to explain what I mean by the all. This is the all that monotheism was built upon, be that the source, the force, the Ensof, Yahweh. Basically, the all is the supreme divine that Jesus Christ came from before being embodied as one of us, as a way shower. What was he a way shower of, if not the loving potential within each of us? Who was Buddha? Who was any great spiritual teacher through the centuries? We have a wide range of ascended spiritual teachers throughout human history and cross-culturally that have reached out to humanity with this message of love. Their message of love pervades each of these separate and diverse cultures with unique perspectives and flavor. Why then do we not yet have a sense of cohesive consciousness worldwide? Because the divine reached out to each of these diverse scattered groups in the languages and symbolism that group could understand and embrace. We, humanity, were but spiritual children when the apple was bitten. We struggled to survive in a world built out of our own state of the forgetfulness of separation consciousness. Infighting arose amongst us out of seemingly unfulfilled needs. Survival. We continue to further the separation by justifying and claiming that those different languages and symbols meant the other group, those that wanted the same resource, served another divine source. Out of this heaven cleaved from earth, and that each of those perspectives took on lives of their own, growing and developing personalities according to the needs of the people that interacted with them. Just as we tend to present different faces of ourselves to different people in our lives. The divine loves unconditionally and left none of humanity behind. We are slowly waking up to everything that we have done out of fear, anger, separation, and the need of survival. Choosing to awaken with the love of Christ consciousness instead of separation consciousness means realizing that each of us had a part. No matter how big or small, we want to believe that our own part was. While our neighbor has done similar to us in creating this divide or separation, we are only responsible for our own karmic debts. Be the example. Lead with the light that shines from within your own soul. Slowly they, too, will awaken to the realities of the damage we have caused to ourselves, others, and our planet. Nothing less than this level of aromatic forgiveness becoming practice among each of us will free us from separation. Now, what is unity consciousness? It means functioning from the point of view of unity, and that we realize that each of those scattered divine faces is a valid face for someone, or else the divine would not have expressed themselves into this world through that faith. That there is an intangible divine truth in all spiritual paths, and they all lead to the same divine source. In this line of thought, it can be said that the fullest picture of divine nature is found when we overlap the different paths. Like an old schoolroom projector of the 80s, Imagine each religious, faith, spiritual path on its own transparency. The combination of unity Christ consciousness means viewing those varied and entwined paths with that love and noticing the intersections instead of the divisions. Then living in the consciousness of what that can mean for the diversity and growth of humanity. To get to the point, you asked me, who is Ma'at? Well, to me, she is a face of the original unknowable divine that shows us a way out of separation consciousness. Her teachings attempt to apply a structure for a return to unity consciousness, while still nurturing individuality and uniqueness. How? Through 42 ideals that, when cultivated internally as comprehensive affirmations, can make it easier for each of us to approach each other in love and notice the interconnections of the infinite spiritual life paths available in partnership with divine grace and each other, maintaining sovereignty, wholeness, and completeness for the individual through taking responsibility for one's own failings, and in honestly forgiving themselves, choose to move forward in awareness, love, and service of their fellow man.